This is Njambiz. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you're watching. Give yourselves a thumbs up for watching, and while you're at it, give me a thumbs up too. Welcome back. So today I'm doing part 2 of motherhood recap after Kiran was born and what I didn't expect. Let's just dive in. Number one of things I didn't expect, his size. So, Kiran was born a healthy 3.5 kgs, but it's not even about the weight, you guys. It's about the height. Kiran was a tall newborn. I kid you not. For those who've seen Kiran right now, he's still quite a tall baby. But he was born tall. Some of the newborn baby clothes we had bought, he never got to wear because they were too tiny for him. And especially the onesies and rompers, because the body length was too small for him to wear. He never got to wear some of his tiny clothes like this one, which was unfortunately my first cloth. That one was the very first cloth we got for him, and he never got to wear it because he was tall. You know, it's funny, when I delivered Kiran and the nurse obviously gave him to me to announce the sex of the baby and just to bond before they go and clean him up and get him into some clothes as they're finishing up with me. So when the nurse took him, she came back because I'd packed some clothes, some baby clothes. Obviously, I knew I was going to deliver. I had packed some clothes. So the clothes we gave her to put him in, she came back and she was like, "Those clothes are too tiny. Do you have something bigger?" And I'm like, "What?" And I said, "Yeah, he's a bit tall, so he needs something a bit longer." So luckily, I had packed that as well. I had some tiny clothes and some slightly larger clothes. So I had packed that, and that's what he wore. I didn't expect him to be tall. Yes, his dad is tall, but not that tall. I didn't expect him to be tall as a newborn. So that's number one of things I didn't expect. Number two of the things I didn't expect was difficulty with breastfeeding in the first few hours after delivery. Now, when the nurse brought Kiran back to me, she told me to go ahead and breastfeed, showed me how, positioning and everything. And so I tried. But Kiran wouldn't breastfeed. All he wanted to do was sleep. So the nurse said maybe give him a little bit of time to nap, because he might be tired from the delivery. And you know, with Kiran, I was induced. He wasn't ready to come out, obviously, because they didn't go into labor naturally due to the complications of my pregnancy. If you've seen part 1, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go and watch my pregnancy recap. That's part 1. This is a continuation of that. Now, so they told me to let him sleep a little bit. Maybe he's tired because of the delivery and everything. So I let him nap for a while. Then I tried again breastfeeding, and he wouldn't breastfeed all day. And actually had him in the morning at around 10 a.m. and he would barely latch on when I was trying to breastfeed. And finally, I just saw with the rate it's going, he's not going to, because he wouldn't accept it. So I consulted with the nurses. They tried we tried to get him to latch on to my booby, but he wouldn't. And hours went by and he's not breastfeeding. He doesn't even seem interested to breastfeed. So in the evening, the nurses kind of gave him formula because they didn't want his blood sugar to go down. And they checked his blood sugar just to make sure it's not low. So they gave him a bit of formula and then told me to keep trying breastfeeding him. They gave it to him with a syringe against his will, but he had to consume something. Then later in the night that day is when he finally decided, or rather we finally got into the groove of breastfeeding. You know, I hear that babies aren't born knowing this, and obviously us as moms, we also have to learn. So let's just say for us it was a process, but later in the night that day he finally managed to latch on and breastfeed, and he never stopped from there. In fact, he breastfed a lot. But I didn't expect the difficulty in the first few hours of getting him to breastfeed. Number 3 of what I didn't expect was Kiran's umbilical cord falling out fast. Now, after you've delivered the baby, obviously they snip the umbilical cord, but there's a little bit of it that gets left on the side of the baby that is clipped, a little stump, just a small thing, and then they clip it with some kind of, I don't know what to call it, plastic peg, I think. I don't know what to call it. Anyway, they clip it, and you're supposed to apply spirit to help dry it off, and then it will fall off on its own when it dries up. So I had been told by some moms how long it takes, and I'd also done some research online, and the average I saw was it takes about a week to 2 weeks to fall off. And Kiran's actually started, they gave me surgical spirit, I think, the clear one. Yeah, surgical spirit at the hospital when they were discharging me after delivery, and told me to apply it, I think twice a day or 3 times a day, and I did that. And Kiran's umbilical cord dried up pretty fast. It fell off, I think, within the first 4-5 days. I had expected it will take 2 weeks, but thankfully it fell off fast. Because I actually used to be scared to, like, I thought like he would feel pain or something, but obviously not. They don't feel pain. Just apply the surgical spirit as instructed, and it fell off fast. That I did not expect. I was waiting for 2 weeks, but it took about 4 or 5 days to fall off. Number 4 of what I didn't expect was Kiran getting a breast lump. Yeah. I know you're wondering, breast lump? What? Yeah, he got I was shocked. Actually, I was really surprised. There's this thing that happens usually when you're breastfeeding. Sometimes your hormones, the ones that cause you to produce milk, get transferred to the baby, and causes the baby to produce milk as well. Because during breastfeeding, you'll transfer the hormones, which obviously react the same way with the baby as they do with you. I don't know, depending on quantities or something. Anyway, so Kiran developed a lump in his breast, under his nipple, both of them. And at the moment, I thought, because I'd seen this online, I thought it might be it, but I wasn't sure. It was so hard. It was so hard. I wasn't sure. So I took him to the hospital, obviously, and the doctor obviously explained this. I already kind of knew about it. I didn't expect it would happen to Kiran because he's a boy, and I had heard, or I had read, that it mostly happens to girls. So it happened to Kiran. He developed a little lump. When I went to the hospital, they told me, oh, that's milk, because of the hormone transfer and everything. And they told me it should clear up on its own in a day or two. Just don't press it to try and get the milk out. It's not good. It should clear up on its own. And the doctor was so fascinated that it happened to a boy. In fact, the first thing the doctor did was check down there to make sure Kiran was a boy. And she was so surprised. She was so surprised that it happened to a boy, because she told me it's actually very rare in boys. And she requested if she could take a photo, because she just had to share with her doctor pals, because this is kind of a rare occurrence. And I said, yes, why not? And yeah, so that's the other thing I didn't expect, because I had also read that it mostly happens to girls, but it happened to Kiran. 1 in a million. What can I say? Number 5, and the final one, I don't want to make this video too long. Number 5 is sleep challenges. Yes, both for pregnancy and as a new mom, I'm telling you, it never ends. Sleep challenges. If you're pregnant and expecting, I think most new moms or even experienced moms or moms tell you, and even when you read this online, they tell you when you get a newborn baby, when the baby sleeps, you should also sleep. Because they know what they're talking about. The sleep schedule is crazy. You wake up every 3 to 4 hours to breastfeed in the middle of the night, during the day, and you know, sometimes when you wake up in the middle of the night, and especially when your baby is still quite a newborn in the first month, when they haven't learned the sleep schedule, the sleep pattern, they will wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and not go back to sleep, and you're there dying of sleep, and the baby is like looking at you just chilling, no interest in sleeping, and probably doesn't want you to put him or her down. In my case, him. So I struggled. I struggled because in the first few weeks, in fact, in the first month, during the day when the baby would sleep, I would try and do all the things obviously I can't do when he's awake. So I would try and do a lot of things in between. Then nighttime, obviously the baby is on that schedule. The baby doesn't care if you're tired or not. If he doesn't want to sleep, he doesn't want to sleep. He'll wake up in the middle of the night and act like it's day and refuse to sleep for an hour. And you're so tired. And you're so tired. I'm telling you, the sleep schedule was crazy. That one definitely was my biggest hurdle with a newborn, is the lack there of sleep. But obviously as they get older, they get into a much better sleeping pattern, and they start to know the difference between day and night, and you get to sleep a bit better. But when they're newborns, oh, that sleep doesn't come by easily. So if you're a new mom, sleep when you can. Even in the middle of the day when the baby is sleeping, try and get some sleep. Just try and get some sleep. It's crazy. That schedule is exhausting. So that's all for today's video. Obviously, I have so much more to share, but I don't want to make this video too long. I don't want to make it too long. So if you have any questions, comment below. If you want to know more about my experience as a new mom, comment below. I respond to all comments, so comment below. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And obviously, if you haven't, subscribe and hit the bell button so that you get notifications when I put out new videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.